Welcome everybody. My name is Andres Vujic. I'm a CEO and founder of Referrizer, and you're joining our quarterly conference online presentation for incredible topics. And I'll read the names, guys. We want to make this as engaging as possible. So I would start by asking you to put the number 1 in the chat, just so I know you are there. Or even better, let's put where you're dialing in from. So we have our speakers, but we also have Adina, Alabi, Bailey, Boyan, David, Dennis, Anna. We have Gabriel, Janiza, Jonathan, Laura, Michael, Michelle. We have Simon, we have Tony, we have Albon, we have another Zoom user. So as the people joining in, guys, make sure you put a chat on the, so we can see that. There we go. We have Laura Sazing Birmingham. There is a one powertrain station. That's awesome. Awesome. Good to have you guys joining in. Now, we'll be starting soon. We'll just wait for 1 more minute for everybody to join. I know sometimes Zoom links can be tricky, so we don't start and leave people half in. And my co-host, you can change the Zoom meeting setting. Probably I can do the same, that we don't have a Zoom waiting room anymore. Or as soon as somebody comes in, we can let people in. Awesome. So today's topic for our incredible conference is unlocking the secret to disruptive innovation and power of targeting ads. Guys, we do these conferences every quarter as a way to bring you most relevant, most impactful knowledge by the industry leaders who will bring data and information and educate you about what works today and why you should pay attention to. This is our contribution to you, and I want to express gratitude for Jeff and Dennis to volunteer to be here, to invest their time for nothing more but you guys. Regardless if you're watching this on live Zoom or streaming or later on recording, we want you to know that what we did here is a pure gift of the value. So how it's going to work? Make sure you take the notes, make sure you ask questions, and at the end you'll have opportunity to rate the speaker. You'll be able to give them some love and also comment what did you like about their topic. Now let's dive into it. Why we do this? Because businesses are struggling today, right? On last HFA, data shared that we are still not reaching our pre-COVID numbers. It's getting harder and harder to acquire new members and keeping them. Competition is fierce. Employee management. How many of you have problems with employees? Just type 1 in the chat. Finding, keeping them, and keeping them motivated. Quiet quitting is today a thing. People are sharing education how to quiet quit. It's nuts. Now uncertainty is all-time high. Everything's more expensive, and yet gym owners are still not raising prices. Now, for that reason, we created this series of online events to deliver the value and the insights that you can use today, not tomorrow. Now, housekeeping rules. We have 2 speakers today, 30 minutes each. Keep yourself muted, and my team will probably mute you just to keep the background noise clean. After each speaker, you'll be able to rate the speaker. It's going to be fun. And the best speaker will get Best Speaker Award. So, and as well, some sponsorship tax credit if they want to use Referrizer. But we want to also to give them a prize. Now, turn the camera on. We love engagement. No matter where you are, you guys can see us, you can see the speakers. Turn the camera on. Last time we had people literally from everywhere, from their businesses, offices, and literally while they're working. Now, at the end of the speaker, you will get a chance to ask questions. So either type the questions in the chat and I'll read it after the speaker is done speaking with presentation, or just ask. You'll be able to unmute yourself and speak. Now, and interact. We don't want to make this as a just one-way presentation. We want you guys to get the most value, and the best way to do it is ask questions. going forward, today we have two incredible speakers. Jeff Zwiefel, who is Executive Director of Miura Longevity. He's going to talk about scaling with purpose and creating disruptive innovation. And we have Denis Salifi, who's going to teach you how to crack the ads and why aligning ads with your ideal customer profile is incredibly critical. Where is the hidden conversion that you're looking for? Now, starting with this, I want to say that I'm honored and privileged to have Jeff on the call, guys. Jeff is a former president and COO of a Lifetime. He led the company transformation into 2.4 billion with a B wellness brand. He's co-founder of Miura. He's pioneer in health optimization and longevity. With over 25 years of experience, Jeff is a visionary leader shaping the future of wellness. He appeared on my podcast, Top Rated Gym Podcast, and his episode was one of the most popular we ever recorded. Today, he's going to share incredible knowledge on the topic scaling with purpose and creating disruptive innovation. Jeff, I'm so honored and privileged to have you here. Welcome to our conference.
Thank you, Andre. It's my pleasure. It's my honor. Great to be here with all your guests today. I'm excited about this conversation and our topics today. So, as Andre said, I look forward to making this as highly interactive as possible, and feel free to ask questions in the chat or at different times, or certainly at the end of our conversation today. And I'm going to try to efficiently cover the territory that I've kind of identified for today, because as you can appreciate, this discussion could and should be a 12 or 24 part series to really encapsulate all what I think we could get into here. So welcome. It's an honor to be here, and I'm looking forward to being a part of this. So as Andre said, I've been around the block a little bit, and 4 decades in total, 27 years of my last career with Lifetime. We started at $137 million of revenue. We scaled to 2.3 billion. We're currently at about 17 plus million square feet of real estate, 123 billion impressions now, 180 clubs, 1.5 million members, 2 million digital or non-access members in the Lifetime ecosystem. And as Andre mentioned, my last 2 years, I've embarked on this exciting new phase of my life and my journey that I'm very, very passionate about. Because I think there's no denying the reality, ladies and gentlemen, that wellness is the redefining megatrend of our lifetimes. And there's just no question about it. My passion is in elevating performance. It's in building brands. And that only comes through building people and talent. And that's a lot of what my focus on our discussion today will be, is this concept of, building and identifying your own culture. I'm going to share with you what a lot of our core operating values have been at Lifetime through the years, and how those have evolved and how they've changed and how they've matured. And also how I've done the same as a leader, and continue to recognize that I need to continue to grow and get better. So welcome everybody, and let's dig in. Here's the agenda that I have for us to cover today. We'll talk a little bit about Lifetime, just so you have a context of what we've been through, an overview of the industry, of course, that you probably all have good grounding on. I'm not going to spend much time on Miura today, given the short amount of time that we have, but I'm going to get into some of the leadership principles and the values that we've used as a company. So without further ado, I put this quote in. And I think it's a great one because I don't think we all truly recognize and appreciate our own true potential. And it has to start with how we value and see ourselves, and then how we help contribute and grow the next level of leadership and identify the talent in our organizations. But I think it's just so true that, you know, we have an opportunity in our lives to play big and not to play small. And you know, the one saying that I'll lead with here as well that I think resonates for me in the longevity category that has become near and dear to me is, you know, that from Confucius when he said, we have two lives and we start living the second when we realize we only have one. And it's important to think about the profound reality of that. And let's get into a little bit about the market, right? These are realities that we have with the tailwind in the wellness industry right now. $5.6 trillion market, projected to be $8 trillion by 2027. There's undeniable convergence that's going on in the industry around fitness, recovery, medicine, medi-spas, you know, and it is now a time when I believe very confidently that there's this galvanized, clear path that the consumer is desiring to take control of their own health more than ever before. But the dichotomy is that they're also more confused by the access and the misleading and the conflicting information that's available and accessible to them than ever before. So that leaves them searching for a trusted, reliable, science-based resource that we can all position ourselves as leaders in the industries as those destinations. But clearly, it's an amazing time in the market where people want to control their own health. Wellness is now taken the center stage, and it's time for us to figure out how we maximize that. The consumer's desire for vitality, for energy, for health span. Think about it, folks. The average American is living 14 years of their life in chronic poor health. And we talk a lot now about this buzzword of health span versus lifespan. We're living longer, but we're not living better. And what I'm passionate about and what I think we all do that unifies us in the industry is that we are committed to helping people live better lives and not just live longer, but we also share this unbelievable mission about transforming people's lives and impacting them in so many different ways. So Lifetime, I'll give you a little background here, folks. Started in 1992. I joined the company in 1998. And it has been an amazing ride. We went public on the New York Stock Exchange in 2004. We went private again. We were trading on the New York Stock Exchange at $36 or $38 a share. We sold to private equity group Leonard Green and TPG at $72.10 a share in 2015. And we went public again in 2021. So we've been through both private and public, and it's been an amazing ride. Here's some of the stats. Here's the 123 billion media impressions. At this time, this slide was done 175 clubs, 180 now. We're building 10 to 12 new clubs a year. I'm not going to go through all these stats, but an important one to distinguish is that 135 average annual visits. That's remarkable growth of the engagement level that we've been able to drive with our customers. You know, Lifetime as a premium luxury brand that focuses on experiences versus, you know, focusing on price is really been about a high usage model in a category that really largely is about a non-usage model. Pay your dues, and hopefully we never see you again. At our dues rates, if you're not using, you quickly attrit. In 2009 and 2008 as a company, as I look back at a massive inflection point in the Great Recession, we had an annualized attrition rate of 48%. Lifetime's current attrition rate is in the low 20% right now, annualized, with no contracts. We've never done any contracts. Brahm, our founder, broke all the rules when he started the company because he didn't have these big, beautiful 60, 100, $200 million boxes to compete with at that time. He said, no contracts, free towels, free lockers, free childcare. People predicted he'd be out of business within 6 months. And look where it is, 30 plus years later. So it's really exciting to talk about these stats, and I'll continue to give a few of them. The average revenue per member, you can see, is $3,000. An amazing thing. You can also see, here's some of the dynamics again of swipes and usage in the differentiation of the brand. And what we do is serve people from 90 days to 90 years old. Here you can see any chief financial officer will salivatate at this graphic, other than what you see in the dips in the COVID era of 20 and 2021. But what a beautiful linear growth of double-digit, generally, revenue and EBITDA growth over the life of the company. And again, that comes from the maniacal focus on one thing. One, I would say our true north, our vet that we've used to vet all the decision makings that we've made in the company is it from a member point of view? What I've talked about historically, I've used an analogy of the 2000 British rowing team when they hadn't won a gold medal for many, many decades. And that team rallied together and focused on this one saying: will it make the boat go faster? And what I translated from will it make the boat go faster, that ultimately vetted every one of that team on that British rowing team in 2000 in the Olympics, that really weren't in a good place to win any medals, let alone the gold medal. Will I eat that donut tonight? Will I go out and drink with friends? Will I spend that extra time investing in lactate threshold training this week? Will it make the boat go faster? That was correlated in our organization through my tenure of will it improve and enhance the member value proposition and the customer experience, or will it improve our team member experience? Because we know so darn well what brings to life our customer experience is our team members. And making sure that everything we did was vetted through that lens. So that really takes me to our ordinary to extraordinary. When you think about transactional versus transformational, that's what this is. Connects to the heart, the emotion, the soul. We all know in retail and hospitality where we see and feel transactional, and it's all too commonplace today, all around us. It's about the numbers, it's about the KPIs, it's about the metrics, it's about measuring certain throughput and efficiencies. The transformational and the extraordinary is where you create this amazing connection, or what I call operations from the heart. It's an evolution that I made as a leader over the years, because I've always been a passionate, competitive driver. I love to win. I hate to lose more than I love to win. And we never had any problems with driving the KPIs and the metrics and the performance criteria. But when I changed my leadership approach to truly thinking about operations from the heart, which was, engaging our team members in a different way about their why, and making sure that we connected with them on where they're at in their own journey and professional process. Then they gave us everything. They left it all on the field, if you will. And they did the little things that mattered to make our company and our brand great. It's not easy to build an iconic brand, and it comes from thousands and thousands of touch points. And as you grow from the 7 clubs that we had to the 180 clubs, that gets exponentially more difficult, ladies and gentlemen, right? So we start from the belief that people make the brand, and we wanted to create a brand and a company where people wanted to be in. They didn't just have to work out in it. It wasn't difficult. I talked about Brahms' bold bets. We started in the Midwest, humble beginnings, where you had to earn the value proposition with what we did. It wasn't the coasts in New York and LA, where sometimes I feel like anything can work, right? And that built a certain level of discipline for our organization. We focused maniacally on quality, consistency, and culture to create.
Sorry, Jeff, you got muted.
Did somehow? Okay. How about now? You got me?
You're good.
All right. So we knew early on that this was more than about a gym. This is about a lifestyle. It's about entertainment. It's about community. It was about healthy aging as well, and healthy athletics. So we wanted to make sure that we evolved and changed our value proposition, because we talk a lot about our business in differentiation and your moat, right? Think about the castle with the moat. The health club and the gym business is, really historically been a high barrier to entry in a low barrier to entry category. That's what we've been trying to build at Lifetime. Deepen and widen the moat. And I challenge you as listeners to say, what is your differentiation of your moat? And how are you thinking about that in terms of going from ordinary to extraordinary? So, our 3 differentiators as a brand have been focused on these 3 pillars. People are everything. It's a people-centric business. We casted instead of hiring. Understand the words that I'm meaning. They're just like a Broadway musical, just like a Disney does. We want to make sure we identify the people with their personality characteristics that fit the role. We wouldn't hire someone that's a massive introvert to be one of our concierges that welcome and greet our customers each and every day, and that are naturally highly engaging. That person we're probably going to put behind the scenes somewhere as a tech or a facility engineer or something, assuming they have those skills. So we hire for that, and then, we train for the competencies, and we deeply work on the professionalism, the consistency, the career paths, and the culture. Culture is everything. And I'd encourage each of you to think about what your culture values are, what you stand for in your organization, and what you don't tolerate, because it's really important to be crystal clear about that and well define that. Our places are like no other, right? They're athletic country clubs and resorts. When people come in, and it is jaw dropping with the granite and the marble and the programs that we've put in place. And hopefully you've all been to one of the Lifetime clubs around the US. And if you haven't, I'd encourage you to check them out and give us your thoughts. One of the most rewarding comments that I heard from customers as we grand opened these clubs, and we'd have tens of thousands of people coming through the first couple days and weeks, is you thought of everything. And that's what we wanted to hear, because we wanted to make sure that people recognized as a one-stop shop solution for all of their healthy living and lifestyle needs. And the last pillar, of course, the programs. They needed to be so good that they could actually potentially stand alone outside of the walls of a lifetime ecosystem. They needed to be brand differentiators that created attraction and retention of our members. And think about how great your programs are, and are they branded in a way where they're differentiators, where they're game changers for your business. So people, places, and programs was just such a critical part of what we did. Keeping moving here. And I talked a little about 08, 09. This is where a lot of folks in the marketplace made critical decisions to go down in price and work on costs. And we were very intentional and deliberate on the other side to go the different direction. It was a big risk, but it has paid off immensely for us. And eventually, as you maybe know now, a number of years ago, we were very deliberate and intentional to drop fitness from our name and work to redefine this category, because we wanted to be so much more than just a fitness club. We wanted to be a lifestyle and entertainment, a healthy living, healthy aging organization that was built on high trust, high desirability, and again, high value with a sea of sameness in our industry. So I talked a little about our North Star, the member point of view that ground us in everything that we're doing. That was the unifying decision filter, much like, will it make the boat go faster, right? This is our mission. That was something that very importantly, even like my older son, who's 24 now, that when he grew up as a teenager going through high school, he worked in facility operations, cleaning our locker rooms and cleaning our toilets. And when he came in for that interview, he asked me, as the COO and the president, Dad, do I really need to know that mission thing? I said, Jake, not only do you need to know that mission, you need to know how you're going to bring that to life every day in that role in the club and what impact that has for the customer. And that might be so simple as when somebody locked themselves out of the locker, how are you going to deal with that situation? And make it an extraordinary inflection point versus an ordinary execution. How you're going to make that a transformational, memorable experience versus a transactional experience. Again, the comment of how will it make the boat go faster? Culture, hire for values first, hire for competency second. And these are our core leadership principles that I want to cover with you today. And again, will it make the boat go faster? A number of years ago, we set out to align on what do we value as an organization. These became the alignment and the core values that we established in casting a new team member onto the team, and also promoting and doing performance reviews with our team. It just wasn't about the science of the KPIs and the metrics. It was also about the art, because great leaders have both. They think about both. I'll tell you personally and professionally, being very vulnerable and transparent to you. In my earlier days as a leader, what helped me grow very fast was thrust. Thrust is this idea of moving rapidly with a very clear intention towards a goal. That's what we call thrust, like a rocket ship. And I've always been about it like a rocket ship as a former college athlete.
Jeff, we lost you for a second. Is it only me?
Yeah, we can't hear him.
Jeff, we lost the audio on
Are
your
we doing
side.
okay, Andre?
Now we are back. For the last 15 seconds, if you can go back.
I'm
I
good to
hear you
go.
now.
Okay. But what I needed to continue to work on is benevolence and
empathy. I needed to do a better job of leader, of seeing through my leader's eyes. The platinum rule, not just the golden rule, but treat people not just the way they want to be treated, but the way I want to be treated, the way they want to be treated with the platinum rule. So I worked very intently on continuing to evolve my leadership qualities and capabilities in making sure. And the last one that's not on here is love. And I will say probably the most important, that ultimately life is short and love is such a critical part of the leadership qualities. So I'm going to keep moving. Here's a summary of them. I think most of you know what we're talking about here, but make sure you have a vision. Make sure, like, the CEO of GE said many years ago, and I love it as a leadership quality, can you see around the corner? I wanted my general managers to be able to anticipate problems. A new competitor came in the market. How are you thinking about positioning yourself against them? How are they a competitive threat? What's your SWOT analysis say? Are we in a great position to defend and actually win the battle? Many boutiques and studios in 2015 to 2017, Soul Cycle, Barry's, OTF, built right around the lifetime clubs to try to peel off the most valuable member. What did we do? We developed a full-fledged initiative in the company called the Programming Revolution. And we went all in on the programs to elevate the experience, to make it so great. We invested in the quality of the talent, the compensation of our talent, the technology that we were using, the physical spaces were redesigned for yoga, Pilates, for cycle, for personal training, you name it. Integrity, it's foundational, right? It's table stakes. Do what you say and say what you do. I call it your do-say ratio. If you don't have that, you won't have the respect or the followership of your team. Follow up and follow through. One of the worst things I saw with early new GMs, general managers, is with 300 employees in their box, sometimes they wouldn't get back to the team member on the most simple things, and they lost confidence in the leader. Do-say ratio, communication, be clear, be honest, be energizing. Thrust, I talked about empathy. Of course, we know what that means. You got to have courage as a leader. You got to have creativity. You got to adapt and innovate. You got to trust and you got to execute. Execution is key. The one thing that I want to add here to everybody listening, and I love this because it really speaks well of evolution as a leader. And we start with this level one, as I'll say, in Maslow's hierarchy, right? Is being a motivational leader. I can create emotion. I build a connection with people. That's good. Okay? Being a motivator. The next level is being an inspirational leader. The word inspiration comes from in spirit. I inspire them. People want to follow me. I create followership. That's very important. I connect with them with purpose. I connect with them on identity and values. And the third and the ultimate level of a leader, of course, is aspirational. There now, people look to emulate you because you're doing so many of these things great. They look to follow your standard. You've established the standard. And everybody looks to be an aspirational leader. So think critically, where are you at on that journey? Am I motivational? Am I inspirational? Or am I an aspirational leader? And think about where that comes from and making sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Here's some analogies that oops, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead just a little bit here. I'm going to go right there. Next one I want. Got it. I got my fat fingers going, guys. I apologize. Think big, start small, move fast. Think what that means. Think big at the start of an idea. Big, bold, BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. What do you want to set out to go achieve? Then you got to think about the reality of it. I got to start small. I'm going to start action brick by brick. And then I'm going to mobilize. I'm going to move. I'm not going to sit paralyzed, thinking until I get this new technology system or I get this new asset or more cash or something. I got to move fast. So think big, start small, move fast. I'm going to leave with working backwards on your legacy. I'm 63 years old. I'm passionate about this industry. I'm passionate about living with my health span versus my lifespan. I'm interested in now making more than ever my legacy. But my encouragement for you looking back is about how do you want to be remembered? Not just on your gravestone, but how do you want to be remembered in your career and your impact with people? That's why I evaluate the little things. When I take somebody out for lunch and dinner and I'm interviewing, how do they treat the waiter or the waitress? How do they treat the Uber driver? Because that's probably how they'll treat everybody else in their life. And your reputation is the shadow of your decisions. So as we close and I get into this, I'm a big fan of Roosevelt, right, with the man in the arena. And I believe that we are the men and women in the arena. And it's easy to be a critic and throw stones. But the people that are in there getting it done, executing every day, doing the heavy lifting, that's where the amazing action happens. And that's where greatness is truly forged. And to think about that, because, as Marcus Aurelius said, what stands in the way becomes in the way, becomes the way. What stands in the way becomes in the way. Break through what stands in the way to create true greatness is what I would say. And so with that, I know that we've got limited time and I want to get any Q&A in that we can. And I really appreciate everybody's attention and time. And hopefully I've imparted some value and some interest to our listeners.
Wow, guys. So now this is the time you can type the question and answer or unmute yourself. And I do have a question, but I want to say, Jeff, this was mesmerizing. This is incredible. These are word of wisdom that industry has to hear. Honestly, this is the video that I would encourage everybody to watch again as recording comes out, but watch it with your team. Watch it to see where the DNA of big, incredible, fast-growing corporations come from. Jeff, honestly, incredible talk. I can listen this over and over. I do have a question for you as people are coming up with the questions. You see people, that's an incredible part of the company. We all say it, many companies don't know how to do it. And I always have doubt, what is the best way to do it? Let's say company is growing rapidly and maybe it's growing faster than the people and their skills within a company. What do? Do you hire new talent who already have skills that you need? Or do you go back to existing talent and try to put them up to a next level, educate them and give them opportunity? I'll wait until you get audio. Did you hear my question, Jeff? Hey, Jeff, did you hear my question?
I got you. Please repeat it.
So the question was, as the company is growing fast, people is incredibly important factor of the culture and vision and mission and everything you talk about it. Do you recommend company hire the expert they need to take to the next level, or they invest in the people they have to become leaders the company needs, especially for fast-growing brands?
Yeah, I think there's not one simple answer to that question, and I think it varies dramatically, but I will tell you that I'm a strong believer of internally promoting our folks. We found our best leaders, the folks that grew up with the DNA and the cultural values and the norms that we held near and dear to our heart. And that's also why we had such amazing tenure at Lifetime, 20, 25, 30-year veterans, because their heart and soul was invested in the brand. And there was such amazing connection. So I believe also when you can provide a thoughtful, disciplined, and concise career path for professionals, they'll push themselves and go try to find how the good ones will rise up and execute to the expectation that you're asking for. I highly encourage exhausting the internal promotional path because of the DNA and the culture and the brand.
Love that answer.
Yeah.
Adina asked, I heard the word transactional versus something else. Can you explain this?
Transformation. Yes. So transactional versus transformation. Transactional is, somebody comes into your front desk and you swipe the card or you do their barcode and check them in. The transformational experience is what our expectation and standard was. You look them in the eye, you give them a warm smile, and you greet them by name. And you ask them how their day is, and you engage with them in a way that you genuinely have been waiting to see them all day, and that you're genuinely interested in what they plan to do in the club today. And if they're with their kids, you also engage with them. That's a transformational experience and a memorable experience, an extraordinary experience versus an ordinary or transactional experience.
And it costs nothing.
Costs nothing. It's all about training and standards. It's all about trainings, casting, and standards.
And yes. I know how great you are in a last podcast. You spoke about incredible flexibility on change when the COVID hit. When overnight leadership team had to come together and make hundreds of pages of SOP implementing because it's the way to do it. Guys, it's hard to make one employee train to do something different and forget. Imagine when you have 35,000 and you need to shift overnight.
Yeah, and if you're not, to Andre's point, if you're not thinking about embracing technology and AI in every dimension of your business today, you're already becoming a dinosaur. You must embrace innovation and change. The industry's always been about innovation. Doesn't mean chasing the fads. It means looking around the corner and looking at the mainstay trends. People are looking for community. They're looking for connection. That's why things like Hydrox are winning today, because community's in it. That's why pickleball is working so well with our 800 dedicated sport. It's about community and access at any level. I don't have to be an ultra fit person to do it. I don't have to be a CrossFitter to do Hydrox. I don't have to be an elite tennis player. The learning curve is nothing. So think about where you're taking your brands and your companies to make it accessible to the consumer right now.
This is Jeff. This is very inspiring. Guys, the last opportunity to ask questions. And what I would love everybody to do now is pick your phone, get your phone and scan the QR code. And my team will also put a link in the chat here. Click on the link and give Jeff some love. Share.
He needs it. He needs it.
Yes, he needs it. This is how you give it back. This is how you pay it back for the incredible time, experience, wisdom that he shared today. So scan the QR code. We'll give you 30 more seconds. It's only one question, literally one rating, one questions. How did you like and what did you like the most? And if you wanna us to continue bringing people like Jeff, this is how you reward the team. So just click on the link in the chat or scan the QR code and we'll go to the next one. And Jeff, I gotta say, I always get inspired listening to you, honestly, because I see what it takes, what a mindset it takes to take it to the next level. This is, you guys were not just listening the words, you were listening the heart here, listening internal core of beliefs of how you need to approach the things in order to make it big. In order to, my favorite fun slide is think big, move fast.
Start small. Start fast. Yep.
Like make small step, but move fast. It's like, hey, if the lifetime can do it, that's 2.4 billion, everybody can do it. Right? Start small, move fast, but think big. Step number one. Jeff, from bottom of my heart, thank you so much for coming up on today's conference, and I'm looking forward to see you again.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Big words of appreciation, guys. Click on the link, share the last minute feedback, and we are moving forward. All of this is possible because of our sponsors. Referrizer Platinum Pro is want to make a difference, and this is something that this team at the Platinum team did incredible. It's about helping you really look forward. We are all in reactive mode all the time, right? We're all coming to the world of marketing saying, oh my God, tomorrow is Black Friday. We're supposed to do something. What if you can do this 12 months in advance? What if you can get a strategy done for you? Literally, this QR code will help you out. All the most important things, all the content ready for you. Boom, free strategy call, guys. Just scan the QR code or click on the link that's in the chat. Boom, this is our gift to you so you can be proactive. Now, next speaker up. Oh my God. Guys, get ready for Denis. And Denis is going to teach you about aligning ads with your ideal customer profile. And Denis is, what I love about him, it's a result-driven leader, right? It's not about what did you do, it's what did we accomplish. He's director of True Conversions. That's the agency that's managing advertising for franchises and single location businesses. He is really good about scaling operations, optimizing campaigns, leading high performance teams, and driving measurable growth across diverse markets. Today, I hope you all guys get a note, screenshot tools, or taking a picture of the slides because he's about to drop some bombs. Denis, it's a pleasure to have you on the call. You can take over the screen share and just share your presentation.
Awesome. Thank you, Andre. Thank you for the introduction. Let me just start sharing my screen and we can dive right in. Awesome. Thank you, Andre, again for the introduction. It's amazing to hear those words from you. As Andre said, I'm Denis. Today, we'll talk about how to align your ads with the ideal customer profile, or as I like to say, how to tell stories that actually convert, not just push pixels. By the end of this part, you'll know how to make every ad speak directly to the person seeing it. Think of it as marketing with heart, just to resonate what Jeff said earlier. It's not just math, it's not just numbers, it's actually marketing with ads. Before I dive right in the presentation and my part, I'd like to hear from you. Drop a quick line. How many of you feel like your ads are reaching the right people, but they're not converting? Don't be shy. I mean, just drop a quick line. A yes, a one, anything like that could work, or any other issue that you might have with the ads. All right. Got a couple of responses, and awesome. It means that you'll have very valuable information to go through today. Perfect. Let's move forward. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. First of all, I'm part of the True Conversions team, as Andre said. We're a digital marketing agency working with businesses, most likely just like yours. We're helping them grow via various platforms and ads. Google, Facebook, lately Reddit as well. So yeah, I spent over 10 years in marketing and business establishment. I've worked with big corporate gyms, with boutique studios, privately owned fitness centers. Beyond that, I've also worked with business establishment in various countries, sales, retail. I even did banking for almost a decade before this. So why does this matter though? I mean, it's why would you care what my background is? It's actually important because across all of those industries that I've been exposed to, the principles of connecting with your customers' story, it remains the same. It's always the same. You have to profile the customer to get through and make sure that your message is aligned. I've seen what works, and more importantly, I've seen through real life experience what actually doesn't work. So I'm not talking theory. Actually, all of this presentation comes from practice that we live day to day, day in, day out. Awesome. Let's go and see what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to talk about the power of alignment. Don't worry about these big words. We'll dive into the details. We'll go into every nook and cranny of it. We're going to talk about how to know your true customer. Then we're going to talk about crafting stories that actually resonate with your true customers. And lastly, I'll present the steps on how to create ads that actually convert. And by the end of this presentation, you'll walk away with this list of actionable steps and the framework that you can use immediately after the call. So moving forward with defining the problem. So in order to be able to solve the problem, we need to define it to find where it actually comes from. Let's start by being honest. Most of the ads that are being run fail. But why does that happen? A lot of businesses try to target everyone, try to connect with everyone, but at the end, they actually don't connect with anyone. Take a minute and think about that. All that investment and the results, you've missed the target. It doesn't mean that your targeting is wrong, but you've missed the target nonetheless. So your ads, the messaging should resonate with the people that you want to target. And how do you do that? We're going to talk about that. Other mistakes that businesses do. They focus on clicks, they focus on KPIs, just as Jeff said. Again, I'm going to reference because I was really impressed by the emotion in your presentation, Jeff. So a lot of businesses focus on clicks instead of the connection. The connection right before they come through the door is super important. A lot of businesses are using generic creatives. They're ignoring the emotional resonance. And we're going to talk about emotional resonance a lot throughout my presentation. The fix is actually very simple, at least on paper. Align your message with your audience and their emotions. But how do we do that? Let's go and check it out. But we are not done defining the problem yet. What's the core disconnect? So we know what the problem is, but what's the disconnect that happens there? The disconnect is that, sure, your targeting finds the right audience, the demographics, the age, location, all that is fine and dandy. But what actually moves your potentials to become leads and later on customers is the messaging that you use. It's a funnel design that needs to be implemented. Data alone doesn't create conversions. It gives you insights on what works, but you cannot base all of the decision only on data. People actually buy based on emotion. Alignment, in that sense, it's actually precision targeting plus empathy, those pain points that the potentials have. Let me put it simply, and this might come out as a joke, but it's like sending a romantic love letter to somebody who doesn't even know your name. It's technically correct, but emotionally really irrelevant. So emotion is important, not only in running your business, but growing it as well. But we'll fix that today. So let's talk about the solution. The solution is to align your ads, as I said, with your ideal customer profile. How do you do that? As I mentioned, you approach their emotion, not just their demographic, but you have to mirror their motivations and beliefs. Build the ads around their personal journey. Focus on storytelling. As I said earlier, data and algorithms won't do that for you. You have to do it on your own. Uh, Now let's look on how to approach your ideal customer profile. So first of all, what's ideal customer profile? I know that this is like a business lingo, a jargon that we use in advertising. Just to make it clear, give me a chance to connect with you on a level and in a language that we can actually understand one another. So ideal customer profile is who's your best customer? Who do you want to have through the door? Who do you want to have as a member, as a loyal customer over time, coming back over and over again? So that's something that we're going to discuss about how to define them, how to get the data that we need to find that ideal customer profile and practically uh, go after them. To connect with them emotionally, you must understand their struggles and frustrations. So that's one of the ways that you will find who your ideal customer is. Then pair these with what they really want, their results, feelings, or desired outcomes. That alone drives the connection that ultimately leads to conversions. Next, think about their decision triggers. What makes them decide to actually sign up or buy your offer? These are the key moments that push them to buy. Your ads should reflect the triggers and position your offer effectively. So it should speak to their emotion, to their needs, and what triggers them. For example, let's think of an offer that is being promoted. We need to talk to their emotions, as I said. Busy schedule. Our program is designed for professionals like you. Short, effective workouts you can fit in anywhere. Start Monday and feel energized, confident, and ready to conquer your day. Sign up now, limited spots available. This is an example of an ad text or an approach that can actually work. Why does it work? The approach identifies their pain, their lack of energy and stress, and then it hits the key trigger, the desire for transformation, and then we pair that with urgency. So from them knowing about their problem, we are slowly bridging them and moving them about towards the action that they should be taking, and that's how to come to that desired outcome. And then somewhere in the middle, your business is actually the bridge that makes that transformation. To reference Jeff again, and this is the third time. I hope it's the last time, Jeff. You were really impressive. Transformation instead of transaction. So the transformation for them is important. You're interested in the transaction, but you need to talk about the transformation. And then lastly, you need to know about their buying journey. You need to map the stages that they go through. So from problem recognition to solution selection. Will they select you or somebody else? What your offer is and how does it align to their actual story? And it should be meeting them in every stage. So you run ads, you might be running a brand awareness campaign, it's one stage. You might be running a lead generation campaign, it's another stage, it's another language. They might have signed up for the offer and you want to nurture them with text and emails. It's the third part of the story and it's another type of language that should be used there. So all of this needs to be aligned to and to talk to the ideal customer profile that we'll define. All right. Now, I know that I mentioned the ideal customer profile a few times. So, as I said, it's more than demographic. We need to mirror your best customer. How do we do that? Uh, just a second. All right. You need to go and make sure that you get your reviews, your feedback that you're getting from the current customers, from all of the feedback that you're getting. That's the language, and that's what defines the pain points that you're actually solving with the business and with the offer that you have. So starting from there, and then at the end, within the framework that I'm going to share with you, you'll have more detailed guidelines on how to actually identify the ideal customer. So moving forward with a few lessons on actually how to implement all of these steps that I mentioned into your ads. There are 5 short lessons that I want to talk about. They should take a few minutes. So when we craft ads, we need to make sure that we understand the setting very well. Every customer is the hero of their story. What does that mean? They have their own life, they have struggles, they have desires. Where does your brand fit in all that? Your brand is the actual guide that will take them to the desired outcome, to the transformation that they're looking for. Ads should highlight that transformation, not just the features of your offer. I know that you're eager to actually show them all the things that you can offer, all the things that they can do at your business, all the services that they can get. But what you need to show them is the actual change that they will experience after getting your service. So people buy outcomes, what they become, not what you actually sell. So we need to make that connection in a way. That's lesson one. Lesson two is about identifying your audience struggles and frustrations. Show them that you understand before you offer them any solutions. Ads that resonate start with listening, not with talking. I'm going to show you a couple of examples. What do I mean with that? So there's one example saying, join our gym today. We have a state-of-the-art equipment and great classes. Sign up today. Sure, that's a fine ad, but where's the story there? Where's the emotional resonance? Instead, we could be saying, feel strong, confident, and energized again. Our program helps busy professionals finally take control of their fitness without overwhelming schedule or guesswork. So you talk about their pain, their objections, overwhelming schedule, guesswork, they're not sure. And then as a call out, your journey to a healthier, happier you starts here. So now you can notice that in the second version, so the extended one, we speak to their struggles, the desired transformation, not just the features of the gym. Any gym out there can actually list out their features, all the equipment that they have, but what does it do for me as a lead? Why would I want to come there? What drives me to actually show up? So you need to connect to their pain and desire. There should be, your messaging should outline the path from frustration to hope. So you have this issue, you're frustrated, you don't know where to start. We are your hope. We're gonna guide you through the process. Promise them the transformation, not just the transaction. The transaction is what you're interested, but they're actually interested in transformation. Now on the ads themselves, I'm sure that all of you have noticed there's copy, there's creative. On the creative itself, there is some call out. So those headlines on the copy, on the creative, and the call to action button, they should reflect their journey, where they are in the journey. So combine it with proper targeting, you have a winner ad. Moving forward to lesson number 3, speak their language. So I know all of us live in this bubble of our business. I used ICP a few times. That's our lingo. I tried to explain it. Did it resonate with everyone? I'm honestly not sure, but we'll see. If it did, or let's do this actually. Let's engage the audience. If it resonated, type in 1. If it didn't, type in 2, so I go back and actually explain it better. Awesome. 3 ones, 4 ones. Perfect. Thank you for the feedback. That makes sense. That brings me to the point. Speak their language. What does that mean? I've seen this too often. Businesses talk out of their perspective, as I mentioned. Out of my perspective is ICP. Out of your perspective, it can be anything that you understand very well because you do on a daily basis. You deal with that on a daily basis. But I might not know what cryotherapy is. I might not know what, I don't know, 100 pounds weight is actually, or how many minutes should I do cardio? I don't understand those things, maybe. So you should talk to me in a language that I understand. How do you get to that language? Again, Read reviews, comments, testimonials. Those are actually gold. Use conversational tone, not the corporate jargon. Show you understand both their frustrations, their dreams, and that you speak their language. So this is the third element there. I have this example of a very generic ad. I've actually seen it. Personal training available. Contact us for pricing. Short and to the point. What did it do for the leads? That's not the way to do things. So a true conversion ad, true converting ad should say something like struggling to stick to a routine. Our personal training program is designed for busy professionals who want results without wasting time. So wasting time, busy professionals, and you actually tell them what personal training is. And then again, the transformation. Gain strength, confidence, and clarity with personalized guidance tailored to your lifestyle. It's focused on them, not on you as a business. So what did we do here? We connected to the real struggles, promised transformation, positioned our programs as the solution that they need, and we didn't use any jargon that normally gyms would use. And this is valid for any other business. Awesome. Moving forward to lesson number 4, emotional targeting. And this is the 10th time that I'm mentioning emotion because it's super important. That's what drives converting ads. As I said, people buy on emotion, and later they justify their purchase with logic. So that's where you get them. If you go with pure logic, we're the cheapest in the area, it might work, but not with everyone, because not everyone is looking for the cheapest. Or we're the best, prove it with examples. How will you transform if you're the best? So identify the feeling behind the click. Align emotional triggers with buying intent. Use visuals that evoke that desire or relief. So the visuals themselves should portray the transformation that you're promising. Let's try a quick exercise now. Think of the last ad that you run. What emotion did it convey? And write that in the chat. I'll give you a few seconds. But one line, not a lot, but be honest. I'd really like you to think about the emotion that it conveyed and what would that be? I know it takes a while because we don't think about these things, but I can move forward. Drop it in the chat. I'll really come back to that. I'd love to discuss it a little bit more. Awesome. And the last lesson that I'm going to talk about today is story-based ad framework. So what does that mean? Maybe big words. On the side, you have a list of things that I'd like you to take a note of. Take a screenshot, take a photo. It's really one of the most important list of things that you can do today to improve your ads. Every ad is a mini story. Use the hook, bridge, and the payoff framework. What does that mean? Start with their struggle, show insight, and end it with the transformation. Keep it simple, visual, and emotionally compelling. For example, a wellness studio might structure an ad like this, and this is an example for you. The hook would be feeling burnt out and disconnected? Question mark. It makes them think about how they're feeling. Bridge. Our mindfulness and yoga sessions teach you how to find calm, energy, and focus in just 45 minutes a day. That's the bridge. That's the transformation that we have there. Now the payoff, the outcome, the desire. How do I want to feel? Leave each session feeling balanced, energized, and ready to tackle your week with clarity. So that's a simple approach, that very simple 3 steps that you can do today to improve your ads, and they will resonate with the audience. Let me just check the chat. Best peptides in the industry, FDA approved. Yeah. Okay. Focusing on Black Friday deals, but that might be focused on the price. Understood. Yes. Black Friday deals Black Friday itself is about pricing. However, don't downgrade the emotion in every ad that you run. Because sure, Black Friday is pricing, but again, the what drives people to buy is the emotion. You sell me anything, if it makes me feel better about myself, more likely I'm gonna buy it. If you're gonna sell me something very discounted, but I don't really need it, you can give it to me for free. It doesn't matter, I won't get it. So again, tell me how your product service is gonna make me feel, regardless of the price. That's what sells, the emotion. So just to summarize, again, 3 steps to build ads that match your ICP. Step 1, desired outcome, clarify the transformation. Step 2, emotional trigger, what motivates them. And step 3, message alignment. Adjust your messaging to awareness, consideration, decision stages. Again, this is our lingo. Instead, adjust your messages. Do they know about you? Are they considering buying from you? Or are they already ready to buy? So all of those messages need to be aligned to where the lead is in your funnel. How close are they to actually buying from you? Awesome. On the next slide, I'd like to just visually show you a couple of things that I talked about. So you do have generic ad here on the left, and then you have an actual ad that we're running at the moment. But what I want to bring your focus on is the middle column here. So just pay attention to the callouts. Stronger core, less pain, better energy starts here. Simple, it addresses their problem, it addresses the transformation, the better energy, and then starts here. This is part of a bigger visual, but I want to focus on the actual messages. That's why I cropped them out. The second one, stressed, tired, stiff, 3 pain points. Pilates is your reset button in just 15 minutes. So your problem, here's the solution. Again, frustration, not a gym fan, and I have to admit I've been there. Now I work out because of these ads most likely, but not a fan of gyms. Discover a workout designed for women who want strength and calm, and it can be anything that your ICP actually resonates with. These are just examples. I would suggest that you align them with your actual ICPs, so actual ideals or an image of your ideal customer. Now, one last question from the audience. How many of you are running ads on multiple platforms? Yep, awesome. We got 3 yeses, 4 yeses, many yeses. Awesome. This part is super important for you. Again, take a screenshot if you want, or take a photo of this slide. What does that mean? Cross-channel alignment. What is it about? So you might be running ads on Facebook, on Google, or any other platform, and then you might have text, emails going out to the leads. You might have a landing page. Imagine all of that as a circle that should be working together. So your message on the actual ad should resonate or be consistent with the message that you have for the retargeting, in the lead nurturing campaigns, text, emails, everything that you send out. And lastly, that's not on the slide, the the messaging that you convey when they show up through the door should be consistent with what you have there. And my presentation practically connects with what Jeff, and I promise this is the last one, what Jeff referred to. Greet them as you really are happy that they're there. Interact with them, interact with their companions. So that's the messaging that should be conveyed from the ads all the way to them showing up through the door. So super important here. Sure, meta ads, they build the emotion. Google ads, they capture the intent in general. Email and landing pages, they deepen the trust. You should actually have testimonials, answering to their questions within those landing pages or email campaigns and text campaigns that you're sending to them. build the trust, build the relationship. The connection is super important. Again, referring to myself at the very beginning, conversion is equal to connection. Conversion is not equal to click. So you need to make that connection. How do you make that connection? Through aligning yourself, your message with their pain points. All right. Here is the framework that I actually talked about at the beginning of the presentation. So in this framework, you have 5 questions that you need to answer yourself. Check your existing ads, but also set up your new ads based on this. Before it goes live, check who are you speaking to? What story connects to them and to your offer, connects them with your offer practically. What is the transformation that you're promising them? And lastly, and that's why it's in a separate column, how will this ad make them feel? Again, take a screenshot of this or take a photo, use it as a roadmap for yourself. Together with the 3 steps that I shared previously, this is your practical roadmap, everything that you need to make sure that your ads perform better, and it can be done today, it can be done tomorrow. Don't postpone it, just implement it. All right, now I'd like to just summarize everything that I said in a few simple words, hopefully. Effective ads don't shout the loudest. They see the audience. When you understand their story, when your message resonates with them and it builds trust and it inspires action, that's when you actually create conversions. Remember, advertising is storytelling and connection is the actual conversion. I'm going to repeat it for the last time. Connection is actual conversion. It's not only clicks, it's not only views and reach. Awesome. Now I want to thank you all for your attention. I do have one more thing to go through, and that's if you're curious on how to boost your ads quality, how you can make these changes that I talked about today, you can actually book a call with me. The first 5 people that will scan this code and book, they'll get a free audit of their ads that they're running at the moment. I will personally, with my team, of course, check your ads, we'll prepare feedback for you, and we'll make sure that your messaging, your ads are aligning to your ideal customer, and making sure that they are actually converting. Awesome. So again, scan this QR code. First 5 people are getting a free audit. The whole team takes a lot of time to make sure that we check every detail about your business, about your ads. We discuss it with you on a call, and we'll make sure that you get all of the feedback that you need. Awesome. Now, questions and answers. I see that Adina, you already have a question. What are your thoughts on advertising with SEO or AI? That's an excellent question. So SEO is an amazing approach to actually getting more or less free traffic. That's absolutely a must for any business that's serious about their growth. Uh, it is an investment of time and effort, absolutely, but it positions you high up on search engines. It makes sure that you're visible, that you outperform your competitors. So by all means, that's complementary to you actually running ads through the platforms that I mentioned. And then AI itself, the market is revolutionizing. Uh, Using SEO and having a good SEO approach will make sure that you're showing up on AI searches. Google search as a console is declining slowly, losing to AI in terms of traffic. However, it's still strong in terms of reviews, get directions, and all that. Things that the AI cannot do uh, actually is on Google. But absolutely, SEO and AI together can work really well. All for it. Tony, can a lead magnet campaign help out conversions? Absolutely. A lead magnet is actually uh, should follow what I presented today. Lead magnet is giving them the value that uh, it solves the problem that they have. Uh, Ideally, it should give robust information or guidelines or any content that you have that are addressing the pain point. However, when it comes to converting those people into paying customers, your lead magnet should actually be well designed to give them a solution and make sure that they need your help as well. So I get where you're coming from. Absolutely, lead magnets do help with conversions, and then you build your database and you can work with these people in different ways in terms of upsells, in terms of expanding your business in different areas. Awesome. Any other questions?
I want to say, Dennis, this was incredible and I love it. And I'm a literally example of that story. Guys, if you cannot communicate pain, if you cannot communicate problem, there's no purchase. We don't buy things, we buy solutions. All of us. Question, Dennis, for you is, do you have some examples of the story that you took over ads that were just plain and simple jargons or feature based or just ads that were wrong, and what happens in the same market, same budget, and how things change?
Well, I cannot share the business name, but there is this client that we actually worked with, we're working with. They came from another agency that they were working with. We had, luckily, access to their ad account. We saw their ads. Of course, you can see them online. Too often we see those generic ads, and to be quite honest, a couple of years ago we were running them as well because that was the thing to do. But when you see that there are, I mean, great numbers, great cost per lead, great number of leads, clients super happy, but when you check the conversions, not that great story. So a while back, we as an agency decided to implement that exclusively. So all of the ads that we are pushing out there are following this framework. So we're making sure that all of that. So if you check the Facebook ads library, the clients that we're working with at the moment, you'll notice our ads. They all have those call outs, the visuals themselves. You don't have to read the copy. The copy has it as well, but it's obvious on the visuals. It's a standard for us, so I cannot just single out one because all of our clients have those type of ads.
I love it. And when you guys need to increase the persuasion, double down on the problem, not on the features, not on the solutions. Go deeper. My favorite coach is Dan Martell when he was showing Instagram builder, Instagram video builder. He says, start with the problem, then start with the symptom of the problem, then go into the problem and go into agitation. Like you're going to a doctor saying, my knee is hurting. It's like, okay, that's a symptom. But the problem is like, okay, what's the problem? Every time I bend, it hurts. But when you think why it's the problem, because I cannot run anymore, I cannot play with the kids anymore, my life is slowing down, right? My energy is not the same. It's affecting my workout, and that's agitation. So instead of going just my knee is hurting, like why is that important? That's how people do transform. That's the whole story behind Tony Robbins and his breakouts and breakthroughs is ask 5 questions, what's happening deeper behind that problem? And that's what you will find. You are not in a fitness business. You're not in a wellness business. You're in the business of solving deeper problem that's causing their life to compromise. You go deep on that problem, you find really what's happening, boom, you have conversion. You have connection, you have a glue. And that's the whole story about this. So guys, you know what to do. As a previous speaker, we want you to give back to Dennis for his incredible time, dedication, presentation, coaching, and either click on the link that's in the chat or just scan this QR code. It's 2 questions, 1 rating and 1 question. Help Dennis make this even better next time, and also help us so we know who is going to be the prize winner of the best speaker of today's event. So you have two ways to do it. You can click on the link down below, or you can scan the QR code. It takes literally 10 seconds. And while everybody's doing that, Denis, I want to thank you for the bottom of my heart for incredible, educational, inspiring presentation that not only we can use to build the ads, but also audit what we have and now know what we need to do as a business owners going forward, right? If this was hurting you, it's like, oh my God, I was doing it all time wrong. Good. It's time to change, right? So last option, click on the link in the chat or just scan the QR code and rate Denis. Now, we want to thank you for coming. And somebody mentioned as well SEO. We have sponsor of this conference called We Rank Higher, who is doing everything to make Google love you even more, right? So if you're curious about how to double down on the leads, how to get leads maximum out of what you're paying, but also how to see how your website is performing. It's all have to work together. Curious to know how you stand against your competition? Curious to know what are the low-hanging fruits you can do it yourself to optimize and boost your presence online? If you guys want a free SEO audit, on a previous slide, you get a free PPC audit, digital ad. This is sponsored giveaway. It's mind-blowing. What you get is beautiful report, 10 pages. You can go back to your web design company, says, fix this, right? And they'll know exactly what to do to make your website fly and be a lot more Google friendly. Now, appreciate you all coming today. I know we are all busy. We all take time to work, but I want to congratulate you for taking time off your busy, incredible schedule to come today and learn. From the people like Denis, from the people like Jeff. I learned a lot. I want to, on your behalf, thank speakers for being here, but I also want to ask you, in general, for the event. From the organizer people, from team who put time, it takes us 3 months to organize this. And I want to thank my team for putting all the work and hard work behind to really communicate, prepare, and really select the speakers for you guys. And just scan this and give us a feedback. How can we do even better? Maybe you can give us recommendation who to bring on the call, maybe topic you want to learn about, maybe the problem you're challenged right now in your business and you would like us to source the best speakers. I interview 140 people on my podcast, all executives across the industry. We can bring you the right one. So last one is scan the QR code or click on the link in the chat. Tell us how we did it. Tell us what you want to see of these events. And I will see you guys another quarter, another event, another speakers, another value. Until then, stay well, keep up with the great work, and I'll see you guys soon. On behalf of my team and all speakers, thank you for attending. See you guys next time. And the winner will be announced. Will be announced. Adina, thank you for asking that question. Stay tuned. It's going to be sent out with recording. Who is the winner? Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.